Hey guys, welcome back to another playthrough of Tokyo Afterschool Summers. I am slightly unprepared for this stream because I woke up a bit late and the news kind of dropped super quick, and also their game content as well. So I'm not going to be the most knowledgeable about what's going on within this event going in. I'm going to be doing it slightly blind. With that said, let's just go dive in blind together. Just let me know if the sound is fine. Also, this sound is too loud on my side. And yeah, let's do this. Very unprepared. Let me just fix the chat for a second. And it should fix. There you go. So we are going to explore what the game is all about now. Izavi made sure to pick a shirt that best exposes my best assets. We are going to explore the new features, and I do mean we because I don't know what they are. Oh, Barong. Well, I have an idea, but like, first off, let's go ahead and this is gonna be a bit different, strictly just because I'm not really prepared for the stream. I don't really like doing this because I don't really like streaming anything else besides game stream. But for now, let's go ahead and what's it called? Go to thing. Let's go and just stream the internet details directly because I am like not ready for this. Yeah, I normally I even like for every stream I read the streams ahead of time, but like there's like I slept at like 2:30 a.m. or some shit to get like look forward to the what's called the release of the content, but the data mine was not working properly, so I ended up falling asleep and then released after, and I woke up late and I had to prepare other stream stuff. Yeah, you got the idea. I was lucky to even get this stream assets ready by then. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the content one by one. There is a new event called Fabulous Summer Host, and it is going to be featuring a brand new unit, Igolonak. There's probably a better way to pronounce his name, but it's not like his name is based off of, you know, some other language. It's just old ones, so they just invented some fancy sounding names that sounds creepy. Supposedly he's originally like some headless creature that has a hand in each mouth, and something about being like a god of depravity, so perfectly within Housamo, and pretty sure we have like 5 other gods of depravities in this game already. All you know about kits right now is Bael and Perun have anti-sentry, which wouldn't be so bad if they weren't one of the pairs for farming. Well, that's kind of funny. But yeah, you can see there are some units that do boosts, and that's not really interesting, so I'm just gonna keep on scrolling. There is a third resource. I haven't really team built at all since I just started. But yeah, MC and Igolonak will be boosting everything, of course, including the third resource. Third resource is just an exchange roll, just like treasure chests, where if you exchange it, you can get 1 million coin. You can only do this up to 10 times, and then it's greatly reduced, only 200,000. I'm not sure if it's worth farming, but you know, if you're going to be bringing units anyways, might as well farm for this as well. And what's it called? We also have Tsukiyomi and Tetsuox and Shino here, who actually boost the third resource, and they should be part of this list as well as the units that have summer skins. We have missions. Sorry, I really should be showing this in-game, but like, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared! And apparently there's a new status, which is pretty unique in that it literally does nothing except has the being interpreted as a debuff. So very meta for a status, so that it can actually activate after debuff effects. To try out useful effects that activate when allies are debuffed, and can be easily used to trigger after it because it only lasts for 1 turn, I believe. Oh, well, this is actually bad because it consumes what's called nullify debuff or reflect. I don't know what this is, but you get the idea. It applies for the things that protect you against debuffs too. There's a new backgrounds and all that. We can test them out, and there is a new systems change which lets us filter by that, and there is, of course, something which actually makes frames not completely useless anymore. We'll go ahead and explore this right now. So we'll go back to my guild, even though I just left it 3 seconds ago. I hope you guys can still see the thing. Oh no, it's streaming the wrong thing. Let's move close. Who's prepared for streams? I'm prepared for streams. So let's go ahead and chuck Barong and Boogeyman in corners again, as is tradition for every stream, so that we can see the EES backgrounds and whatever that never matter. Might as well. So I actually do need to redeem it from the gift box. There is going to be random login bonuses. Oh, that is... What the fuck is this? Seriously, what the fuck is this? What is all this? This is a bit too much. Well, it's mostly just stickers, I guess. Let's go to our guild. As you can see, the action lines and any other frames properly save now when you back out from it. Such a useless feature before, and it should also save if you're deciding to use frames for the my home screen. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, since I haven't really thought about it, since I literally just woke up. Oops. Let's go ahead and check this random stuff out. It's not all stickers, right? There should be something here. That's here. Yeah, whatever this is. And... Sure. Looking very fancy. And there's like gonna be 10 billion stickers. I don't know. There's a bit much stickers here. I don't know if it's worth exploring them all. Especially since you can't really get a good view of any of them. Yeah, I'm just like not gonna look at the stickers right now. But there's a lot of stickers. The actual background looks pretty suave. I might keep some of these items later. Yeah. That's the features. Let's just go back. But yeah, we can go to the Transient summon right now. And now you can stick with me again to actually read over the content. The screen blows out my face with light. So, I normally don't do this on stream because it does take a while for me to interpret these things as well. Let's look at Eaglenock's kit, and then I'll give my first impressions. Let's see, move phase end, ordered at 100 CP for allies, so that's conditional if everyone has a charge. Both parts are guaranteed at least, and it is a generous timing. A removable effect, of course, and it's body overkill. If he doesn't, it'll depend on how well he can boost his charge effect. But I guess the gist is, as long as someone's nearby him when people are charging and his multiple charge effects are going off, or charge fill effects rather, then, you know, they'll be a bit stronger for their charge. Let's see. Okay, if I'm reading 10 nasty. After debuff, increase 8 CP to self, so this is gonna synergize with whatever this is, his debuff thing that does nothing at all. Since he doesn't have any other debuff effects to allies. Yo, Wadley! Welcome. So do you want bulge, abs, belly, ass, or Bael? Bael who has none of them. I love that. I'm gonna be hoping... I'll talk about what I want later, but I want to read the kits first, because I'm not gonna say what I want and then I read the kits and they're complete ass. I'm like, never mind. Congrats on getting all 4 stars. So, there is this nice effect that lets people be like their own Valentine arc, where they get a decent amount of CP when they're debuffed. There's a unique effect again, the status effect has a note, but that should be the status over here, which is called Vanity. Very interesting name. So, it's just a debuff that does nothing to activate those effects. There is Fear Resistance, who cares? Tenacity, who cares? After buffs, CP, and allies on miss. What's his range? Well, okay, so he can even sing quite often. This is not a great looking kit. Let's see. Limit allies behind. He has to move, so like Takamura, but he has to move, great. And does he have any other moving things? He has tenacity, I guess, and he has fear resistance, which is something not a guaranteed rate. And his moving on charge is possession and confusion. So, I'm getting the idea that they're kind of like an Ame no Uzume in terms of they don't necessarily get everyone's charge up instantly, but they do get it up like progressively fast throughout a phase. And they achieve that through a variety of effects through after buff and on miss effects, and after debuffs through his unique thing, which is only every other turn. It looks like. Why is it only every other turn? The one thing it's good for is to get it up like every turn. What the fuck? So bizarre. And he has some other utility if you move him for like a bit of damage amp and some debuffs, but I don't really see this the worth of bringing him other than for the charge fill, which in itself is not amazing, because possession by itself is like just do damage instead. Ooh, furry dungeon ordeals. Welcome. Just reading the kits right now, not because this is what I should do, but rather because I didn't have enough time to read them beforehand. But yeah, Golunok's kind of mid, but what you can expect from a permanent 4-star. So, let's see. Bael. Reading crits already. Wow. After debuff, crit self 30%. Never mind, that's kind of shit. I guess it's gonna be a debuff themed banner, since the entire thing seems to be focused on activating debuff effects, and especially with this effect that vanity that doesn't actually trigger any bad things. It's vanity again to allies and to hit units. Is this vanity? Sorry, vanity again. Surprised he applies it to enemies though. Maybe there's some effect that he applies to enemies. Yeah, there it is. No, there it is. Yeah. So he applies this goofball debuff to allies' enemies. He removes buffs to self every time he hits, so he's a bit of a status neutralizer. And debuff self after debuff, or limit to self after debuff. He just makes people stronger when they get this dummy status. Coin flip rate. Back damage, not an interesting effect, unless you're using Jurong, of course. So, good for Jurong, nothing else really. Debuff and remove debuff. Well, I guess lots of them nowadays could work too. Remove debuff and remove buff. Okay. So what I'm getting here is he kind of works a bit like Ulaanbaatar, his Oda variant, in terms of trying to neutralize effects for both removing debuffs on themselves, apparently 2 at the same time, as well as removing buffs from the enemy every time he applies his neutering effect. Or his neuter debuff, rather. He also has some other advantage boosting effects, such as limit to allies, which is dependent on that, and as well as dazzle to enemies. So it's kind of just like general advantage state, as well as general disadvantage state minimization. Not very strong clear-cut use, but this debuff thing is probably gonna be the thing people move on the most. He gives the debuffs all to enemy, which is okay, sure, if you say so. Is events making you feel sleepy? Well, the art's good at least, for some of them. The new character looks hot. Let's see. So we are moving onto Sarutahiko, who is apparently also fire type. And we have after debuff increase 3 CP to enemies. And this is applied to enemies, so that means they're actually going to be giving us charge. They're going to be charge filling our own team every time we debuff them. The question is how easy it is to debuff them with Sarutahiko on board. Ooh, that's a very interesting range. Purification, self and allies far away within the cross range. Burn and weakness to enemies. Some chargeable stuff. Some boosting things. Nourishment, nothing exceptional I'm seeing here. After debuff, cuts is an okay rate. After hearing defense up, and oh, he starts with his charge. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So he starts with a charge. What is his charge? We need to read it then. He has burn and concentration. No, it's not. Well, it's like he's gonna really stop the show with his charge. Like artifact level 1 concentration, very cool. Yeah, this isn't good. I don't know what to tell you. This is not amazing. Well, let's look at the objective amount of flyers. There's concentration. It's not gonna be strong, but it's there. There's weakness. There's vigor. And there's limit, although his own charge has to be decent. And there's nourishment, which is like he has to be at full charge too. It's like there's an okay amount of amp, but the weakness is gonna be limited by his range. The vigor is like at a shit range, or shit reliability rather, and there's not a good spread effect either. And you know, the limit in nourishment will not be stacking with the allies effect for vigor because it's just the self versus just allies. So it's kind of it's a bit of a flop. Let's just move on. 4 stars, not great. So 5 stars, Barong and Perun. So on arrival, he's going to be pushing allies 1 square to the right, or if they are to his right, or he's going to be pushing them to the left, maybe. Oh, right. Sorry. Hide that. This is how I actually, what's it called? Update these so it's a bit more appropriate for discussions. But anyways, this pushing effect is a bit peculiar. Yeah, the HTML is just when I'm modifying it directly. Like, obviously this doesn't say with unction deal 2 times damage normally, but I was changing it up. Didn't have enough time to finish it though. So whatever. Thanks, Avi. You're pretty cool too. So, my best impression is it's kind of like Shiro, where he pushes allies if they're starting away, further away so that they can fear everyone else. He's a bit more useful on, like, if they spawn their... Actually, this middle one, this is so weird. Why are they moving allies randomly if they're moving directly ahead of him? So bizarre. Like, this only would actually do anything if, like, on the left side, I guess, and even then they just could push them to the right instead. So that's just... I don't know, I'm spending so much time on this effect. It's just like a pull effect. Who cares? It's just so bizarrely implemented. He pulls himself in by 1 square after. Okay, so there's like a potential here where he can... Okay, I sort of got it. The idea is with Barong on the board, as long as they don't have move resistance, he'll be pushing the allies like away from him. Although this push on the side is kind of like weird, unnecessary. But essentially, he's just gonna push them away from him so that he can move ahead himself. Let's see. Will this always be true? I guess so, maybe? Yeah, it should work no matter what the size of the map is. Alright, see his shot range, he has Unction Strengthening, and he gives it to allies every turn start at phase turn 1, so just phase start. And he increases his team's health through stationary enemies, healing his own team. With Charm to enemies, or he can charm enemies if he's at full health, if stationary at Shinya rate. And it's a bit less if he's not at full health. Then he does extra damage to that, then removes Charm for himself, whatever, resistance, arousal, drain, evasion. Sorry, I'm reading these out loud as it's not helpful. This is why I like to read beforehand, so it's a bit more digestible for you guys. But let's see. Or being attacked, evasion, such on might take effect, nourishment, and remove debuff itself, which is going to be at the same time as unction. So he's gonna have unction, healing, damage amp, and defense, with a bit of debuff mitigation on phase start, with a crit if only he has full health. And is this a really 5-star kit? That's the increased recovery to self and allies adjacent, which is whatever, because healing is just from enemies, which is, what's it again? 400, it's okay, I guess. But they would have to be positioned directly in front of the enemy at that point, and they need to be not dead. Guts resistance is... He has that thing again, after attacking at shot range, so... he actually needs to hit someone. It's probably worse, honestly, than his base kit. What do I think about this? It's like, I think the idea is you're supposed to base tank with him, you need to move him in front, or in the very least, he wants to go to the front anyways, like with this pushing to self effect as well as the one appearing effect, and then he'll just try to apply effects of you know, charming the enemy and making them heal us, and I don't know, like healing, increasing our damage and defense, and removing debuffs. You think the gist is he's trying to stay full health so he can do more damage? I mean, let's see. I guess he has his health now. That's true. So it's just crit, isn't it? Let's see. What else has his full HP? He has charm. That's charm at 60%. Is that really worth it? Whatever. But yeah, this is like very weird bomb clearing because it's like it's not guaranteeable at 80% even at full health for a crit. And you know, it's like literally just crit and nourishment. I don't think there's any other damage happening here. Well, there's charm, but that's also like 60% only. It's not great. Well, there's unction strengthening. That's actually good. So this is a board-wide conditional amp, but it's not actually going to be board-wide because the unction itself is not. So unction strengthening and charm. Charm, what's called vulnerability or advantage, and then there's crit and nourishment. It's okay damage. It's okay damage. Moving on, Perun. Hopefully he's interesting. Attack up self allies. I think he's had something like that before, but he doesn't need to move this time, so it's kind of like Dagon. Arousal itself, when being hit. So this is arousal weakening to all enemies, and he applies it to enemies when he is attacking them at his snipe range. So it's better if he's first so that he can do the spread of it, but of course it's not necessarily going to affect everyone to the adjacent realms. It looks like Barong falls apart if he gets 1 dot debuff due to the way damage debuffs and healing buffs work if you don't give him the little summon AR. Oh, I see. You're saying like if he takes flat damage, then his effects just sort of off. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, good thing no one applies that to allies here. No poison or like burn. That's usually how debuffs are applied to allies, but in this case, it's not. So this one is probably the most interesting one, but I didn't have time to like modify it on the HTML because it's kind of very interesting. Right here, it seems that the enemy actually is forced to share their own buff every time they're hit. How useful is that? I mean, it'll depend. Maybe you can bring Gurungach to take back the all range. It doesn't actually steal it. It actually just takes it, and they still get to keep it. But yeah, it could be useful if you are forcing the enemy to have a buff of sorts, such as with Hote with crit, or Gurungach with all round. There's even like what's called Leaks. I believe he applies like crit, or crit plus, something like that. Enemies. Let's see. Yeah, crit plus C. And then you can probably take that back. Weakness to enemies, so more things. After he's debuffed, most likely you want to debuff him with this events feature vanity, but I don't know how easy that'll be. And paralysis weakening, that's good, but the condition for it is when he sits, so that's not good. Charm, again, just like Barong, range charge if he doesn't move, which is, you know, he gets both backup and paralysis advantage. Attack up's gonna be shit, but paralysis is gonna be good because of both this advantage and the disadvantage here, or, you know, this weakening. And it's only 3 turns though, so if it's a bit too late, you might not be able to take advantage of it. Yeah, the board dude is called Igolonak. It's probably not a complicated pronunciation because it is just old ones. The name looks complicated, but it's, you know, designed by just like English authors who are fans of the old ones world, or whatever it's called, universe. He gets his charge okay-ishly by both attacking and getting his being buffed. Yeah, okay. I think we probably talked enough about this stuff. Obviously my full thoughts aren't ready yet, but hold on. Let's close this screen. So, to summarize everything, Perun is going to be a board wiper if you don't move him and he gets his charge decently fast. He has some damage effects which he can take advantage of, such as paralysis weakening as well as arousal weakening. He doesn't actually apply arousal on his charges though, so he's not going to take advantage of that. He applies it when he attacks, and I think his main thing really is just damage. Another board wiper that gets his charge like occasionally fast. He doesn't really do anything too particular. His paralysis rate when he gets hit is decent, so a bit more of a counterplay there. For what's called 5-star. Who's the other one? Barong. Apparently, he's 5-star. He pushes himself to the front and pushes allies to the side so he can reach the front. And then he tries to like base tank a bit with Unction and does a bit of damage with Unction, Strengthening, and Nourishment and crit. I believe there's like a chance of that, but only if he has full health and he has increased recovery to encourage that. It's only gonna be like in shot range though, and he can afflict Charm and has advantage against Charm as well. So if you like persistent damage, I think that's the same here for a lot of these units. It's persistent damage. It's not really instant damage that's reliable. It's more so persistent damage throughout a phase. In other words, not the best for farming, but we're gonna have to farm for these guys for the next month. So there you go. And Sarutahiko is Bael is just like general support in terms of removing debuffs from himself as well as removing buffs from the enemy, and he also has like weakness and limit, not weakness, but like limit to his own team and dazzle to the enemy to increase that advantage state more. It's kind of like a general support unit, honestly, not really particularly needy at all. Sarutahiko is Purification, but that kind of like doesn't really work with the rest of his kit out of weird range. And he does other stuff, which I really like. I need to look at it again. What's his other stuff? Sarutahiko's other stuff is like other amps, I guess, at not guaranteed timings, and they're charge dependent. That's his thing. He has charge dependent timings and his own charge fill. Like it's like it's okay. It's not amazing. He does start with his charge, but like I don't know. This is fun. Let's see. So you can do decent damage on turn start just because of limit and nourishment, but essentially think like Summer Golden Buxty, where he gets his charge up and does a lot of damage and sort of falls off in between. Yeah, so Golden Buxty at home because he doesn't have any movement. And then there's Igolanak, who is like a charge filler, like Amino Uzume in terms of missing or attacking at low range, and also applies that thing every other turn, Vanities to apply deep effects. Yeah, it's obviously don't take this or take this with a grain of salt. I didn't get a chance to really think about like super like broken synergies or whatever, or how well these abilities like synergize with themselves. I don't think this banner is good though, just from the first glimpse. So that's my first impression. So it's like board wiper, but doesn't get his board wiper very easily, or not instantly anyways. And for Perun, and we have a calm clear for Barong, and it's more of like persistent damage rather than instant damage. And we have Sarutahiko with instant damage with his like turn 1 charge, just like it's okay. It's on board wipe. And then there is Bael, who is... What does Bael even do? It's like general support. I'm so tired. And then there's Igolanak with his fire kit being designer, charge filling, as well as getting... does he even do anything else besides charge filling and applying that debuff? That's not really a debuff. He has to move for some other support effects. Yeah, it's like, what is this banner? It's like, there's nothing super game breaking here. I do think the debuff itself is interesting, but the fact that only like 2 or 3 of them can apply it, and it's like one of them is only like once every other turn. It's like, what? Okay, whatever. That's I'm not gonna be pulling for kits here. I am gonna be pulling for looks. I do like how Igolanak looks. He's pretty hot. Very hot. I want him to make me his little piggy. And then there is also Sarutahiko, who has quite a nice ash shot, so let's go pull for those two. Just a tiny bit. Maybe we'll do like 1 multi and a few tickets. You will Jurong. Thank you, but also wrong banner. So let's not pull for Jurong because that would be an off banner and not one of these new ones. Alright, first multi. And the only multi of the stream. Typhon Summer! And we got Tetsuox. Alright, that's the host event, so some of these are gonna rate up. Hey, there's J-Star Eagle and Knock. Tetsuox again. Fifth unit is Ashino, who is also going to be boosting everything. Hey, there he is, the fat fucking belly. I'll destroy him. I love him. Okay. Even though his kid sucks. Sarutahiko would be nice, but, you know, Eagle and Knock's probably the most important one to get because he boosts everything in this. Angoroa and Hati. And Eagle and Knock again. Thank you for the double 4-star.
Baby-chan!
I do think his voice acting is kind of like, okay. It's not amazing. Well, it's good voice acting, but it's not like the gruffness I want from a character who's designed like this, right? Apparently he has like a mouth in his hands in each one. Like,
Baby-chan!
Imagine what I can do with you. Anyway, let's throw in a few more tickets. Maybe I'll throw in 7. It's gonna be a long event, whatever. Like, it's just Sarutahiko at this point, but his kid is just like, is it really worth fighting for? T-Morg, the other gangster. To each opinion, but this is your first variant banner since downloading this game. So you did 2 multis, got 5-star limited Perun and Barong simple and limited Bael, and those feel so good. Wow, that is a great way to start the game. The game is truly rigged for newbies, beginner's luck. Now I'm gonna save for Summer, Shiva, and Oz when they come. Yeah, that's a good call. I don't know if what's called Summer Pool is printing anytime soon, but Shiva, very like this time. Damn, can't reviews during first peak stream. I didn't mean to do that, Irby. It's just that I didn't have time to read it beforehand, so I couldn't give it a quick summary. Did you guys prefer that, by the way? What do you think? Did you guys actually prefer me going over all the kits like that, or did you prefer before, like when I was just skimming over the general gist? Because, you know, there are longer discussions going to be happening anyway for these kits. Gotta get that extra bonus for 10 million coin. Obviously, you can use the one level seed. There are level seeds in the shop. We'll look at the shop later. Congrats on a full set of Bael. Lucius. I believe Lucius actually shows up in Barong's art. But like, I actually almost don't care about anyone Barong's art of all the feature units. I do think Sarutahiko has some cute features such as Gunmakala as well as what's called Tetsuox, so. Got a new skin, so he probs on rate up to, you don't know. I realized I need a chance to properly groom my beard before the stream. I'm not prepared! Alright, last ticket. No variants! We will not be having any variants, but at least I get to see a platinum ticket. Okay. I might change my line later to pull, but for now, we'll call it quits there. Let's go ahead to the current event, and I'm gonna go ahead and read what other news could be relevant to talk about before I start. Let's see, there are new variants, which I got none of them very cool, but whatever, Eagle and a Thought, buffs, weird, a lot of stickers, and oh yeah, there's a new filtering feature. We can talk about that while we team build. I believe that's the last feature to talk about though. But yeah. Oh. So I'm unprepared! Okay, we need to read the shit and skip through it. The news important to talk about is that for the first time ever, this game didn't give us a Summer Stones campaign. Oh, I guess that's true. I never noticed these campaigns. Like, I only started really paying attention to them maybe like half a year ago or so. So they're just like, they can add them whenever they want, really. I mean, we might get one in between when they're doing like the Summer River reprint. I mean, didn't we just get like a surprise campaign before this like chapter 15 campaign ended? Get a bunch of free guild certificates. It's fine. Also, please load. It's not a complicated story. What are you doing? Taking forever to load Eagle Nook's fat ass. There he is. He's laughing because he agrees. First, they give you some free stones. Didn't they give it at least a few during the campaign? I really like that. Oh well. Yeah, for the summer campaign, I'm sure we'll get another campaign eventually, or before summer too. There's a lot of reprints to be catching up with, between the summer reprints for Summer River Adventure and Summer Pool Twilight, and I don't know, like there's a bunch of other ones. As there's also the Halloween ones, which we are quite behind in, with starting with Halloween Police. Okay, Huckman. Alright, let's see the nature of these quests. Are they split or are they the same in terms of sizes? This is going to be 12 for the second set and 12 for the first set, so they're the same. Alright. Go ahead and do the thing. I don't even know what to think about this. What were the rarities for the beginning? I don't even remember. Let's see. The rarities were going to be water and ether. Okay. I don't even remember which one boosts which. Water and ether. You should choose the drop rate boost. It eliminates all the random sort folk. That's true, actually. Big brain Irby as usual. Water and ether. Let's see. Which one boosts switch though is the thing. Well, we'll find out when we enter. More rank XP is good. Perun and Bael in the second one. I think we picked the first one, so let's go ahead and switch to our really shit pre-designed teams, which we need to redesign now. Event bonus is going to be... What? Okay, no. If Perun and Bael is the second one, then we need to pick the other one. Hold on. What is this? Did this dude this dude moved his thing. Okay, well he knows the metagame. Harvey moved him to, what's it called? One of the three original guilds, because Barong is not one of them. He's an entertainer. He does not belong to one of these guilds. Well, he gets only ally points in. Alright, event bonus, looking kind of whatever. Sorry, Yonglei, but we will be replacing you with the true Piggy. There's going to be blowing me off all around, all day. This team is kind of hyper shit, but whatever. That's the event bonus. 220, everything's boosting. This is really the highest bonus I can have. I really didn't pull that well this event. That's depressing. You should choose the drop rate boost. Barong and Sarutahiko are the first ones. Wait, so I read that. Spending guild seals for ally points, truly the biggest use for guild seals. I mean, it's actually kind of like one of the more relevant uses. I mean, if you don't really, care about improving your own teams, at least you can use it to improve your support lineup. Like, I'll think of doing that one day, but, you know, my seals are precious right now. I didn't even get any of the 5 stars, who cares? So, like, I wouldn't be able to exploit it either way. Alright, so, unfortunately, I can't actually bring all the rank boosters because none of the fucks can actually equip the Tycoons boosters, as well as the True Guilds boosters or OG Guilds. It's gonna have to be PPL, I guess. I mean, at least they don't drop a coin. Is there any other you can bring? Like, there's no reason for me to bring 4-star Tetsuak so I can do this. Does he still boost it? He does, yeah. And he needs to move. MC is... I'm looking hyper shit. The bridge of hyper shit. Yeah, as if MC4 will save the day now. Tall map gaming, man. He doesn't have weapon change, right? Anywhere in his kit. Yeah, it's not happening. Well, I only need 3 calm clears anyways. He gives like attack up maybe, so I'll just throw him in just in case in the back. Goodbye, MC. Will not be missed. You know, honestly, MC might be better. Whatever. You overthink this. Is there any boost we can use here? I guess the Outlaw's boost. Sure. We should have Tetsuaks in second slot to parry Barong. Honestly, Barong doesn't need to be parried. But yeah, we are going to start now. I think. Everything good? We got a bit paranoid sometimes. Do be like that sometimes. Alright, we're all good. You should just change Shino's skin into the swim skin for immersion. I don't know. He's okay. He looks better in a tuxedo. You already spent all your guild seals making Benton and Nomad Invaders for affiliation cheese. Yeah, that makes sense. He could also, I guess, do it so they can equip the seed booster. Okay. I'm just trying to listen to music right now. It's very D&D. Tsuki only got his charge quickly. Yeah, boy, we didn't get any trust resources. I'll get a tuxedo? Because be told I don't actually have like a proper fitting tuxedo for my age. I think I still use like some of the random ass ones I use for like one marriage or two from like friends. So I don't think I really have one properly fitted for me. At least we got a nice event battle track. Last couple events I left you cold. Oh yeah, the new semester theme as well as the Valentine Krampus theme. Crossroad, whatever. But the story theme was a banger, but then the battle theme makes you raise an eyebrow. Well, 6 months, I guess it's kind of common that there's a large dearth of content in between Valentine's and what's it called, the next summer event. Though I feel like this might have been the longest we've had. Well, you know, content. There was content, but not event content. I'm gonna need to read Barong's shit all over again. Because, like, I'm not understanding how what's called my team's getting their charge so quickly. It's probably because of the thing, what's called the CP effect from enemies, but, like, I thought that only applied when, you know, they don't move. I'm gonna briefly look at it again. Barong has CP, Chargeville. Does he not have Chargeville in this kit? How are people building their charge so fast then? What the fuck? Am I just forgetting their kits? I know what's called Tetsuox has his after buff Chargeville, but I don't remember Tsukiomi having anything like that. Maybe he does, and I just don't use him for that, so I don't remember. You haven't gotten Vent 5 stars since Summer 2, and the other 5 stars you got were Hef and Corper. Hey, let's not insult the units. Unless it's Hephaestus. Hef shit, I'll accept that. Welcome, Xenu. What can I see?
寂しかったね。寂しかったね。おや、高ぶってきた。神が我慢できねえ。おや、我慢。高ぶってきた。
Jesus Christ, that sucks. Sorry, building a charge so fast.
寂しかったね。
I don't even have the buff they are in.
それじゃあ、寂しかった。どうかそうして笑ってておくれよ。君の安らぎが僕にはご褒美なのだから。
おや、
寂しかったね。寂し
Is
かっ
this
た
one treating
ね。
you well? I mean, I got Golden Knock in my first multi, which is pretty much what I wanted. I wanted Sarutahiko too, but I'm gonna be real, I don't want anyone for the kits. So, like, yeah, it's not a big loss I didn't get Sarutahiko. He is pretty cute, which is unfortunate, but whatever. There's so many cute units in this game, it's fine.
おや、高ぶってきた。我慢できねえ。我慢。
それじゃあ行くよ。
高ぶってきた。
寂しかったね。
おや、我慢でき。そのキスマークは逆指名。つまりは従属の首輪や。おっちゃんのこと。どんどん忘
We
れら
are
れ
running low on stamina drinks. Uh-oh. My team name always looks like a math equation. Yeah, I mean, I try to condense as much information as possible. To summarize here, this is just the upper set of quests as compared to the lower set of quests. You know, up versus down. This is saying it's an optimization. It's the upper peak of some certain resources. This unsigned delta, or what is this? Foe? Not foe. Row. It's for rank EXP. This Kai symbol is for experience points. So there's lots of rank EXP. There's some experience points going on too. It's coin when it matters, but there's no coin, so it doesn't matter. And there's also ally points, which is like, I guess, the Cloud ARs again. Guild affiliations real make sport units look like dead weight in terms of numbers real. I mean, yeah, but that's been the case for ages, really. Like, I didn't switch anyone, right? So this was, this is the same problem as we had with Guild Affiliation since it released last year. Problem. Well. Well, you know, it's also a bit of a biased perspective when I'm streaming because I have every unit leveled. Not everyone will have every unit leveled. I'm sure a lot of people are struggling right now with their level 1 units that they're only able to have skill gem or skill up. Just came in. How are the new units gameplay wise? I mean, I read their kits and I wasn't impressed. They seem to be doing decent, I guess. But I don't. It's kind of hard to tell. It's just common thing.
寂しかったね。
高ぶってきた。
敵将が首はここにあり。さあ契約は守ってもらおうか。
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk. There's actually missions in this quest too, which is nice. We can look at them after we do these quests. Oh yeah, to give you a summary of what the units do again, off the top of my head, it's good practice for me too. So Barong seems to be a column clear that has persistent damage. But he's not really specialized in instant reliable damage, just like a lot of other units here. Or rather, well, except for Sarutahiko. But he does have like, what's it called? He pushes himself forward and pushes his allies away, so that he'll always be forward. And he also has like some various effects that let him be able to, apply things defensively to his allies and himself, as well as offensively, nurture and unction. And I think he might have an unction strengthening as well. And he also has Charm Thingies, which is just like a lot of this is when he has full health. As long as like, you're not taking confusion or some other dot effect in battle, he'll be able to deal decent damage throughout. Although I believe some parts of the killers are still unreliable, like he might have crit or something like that at 60% or whatever. Alright, moving on. Are you already having a hard time pulling, Sabi? Oh yeah, that was Barong's kit, right? I should talk about the others. So I didn't pull any of the 4 stars, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But essentially, Bael is a general supporting unit. He gives damage amp to allies through vigorably, well, not vigorably, limit rather, as well as dazzle to enemies to reduce their damage, and he also removes debuffs on himself and buffs from the enemy. I forget if he has like stuff related to his charge fill, but he does have stuff that's related to the new status that is vanity, which essentially acts as a death debuff just because of but you know, as a general support unit, that really something to be interested in playing for. I don't know, probably not. In my opinion, anyways. There might be something missing since I, only got a chance to glimpse at them right now. Alright, moving on to the second set. The colon clear. Yeah, I call my column clears that I like in this game column clears too. But we are going to be moving on to the second set, which means we are moving on from Barong and into Perun, who is apparently also a column clear because he will function very similarly. He boosts resources, very cool. Right, let's do this. So Perun has arousal weakening as well as paralysis weakening. His arousal weakening can access instantly, but only on really himself and adjacent comms because of the spread of when he actually applies arousal to enemies. One of the more pertinent issues is going to be his paralysis weakening, which is not easily accessed. It's either on his charge or it's going to be whenever he gets it. So get another persistent damage source. What else does he do? He does other stuff. What does Perun do besides conquering with arousal weakening and paralysis weakening? Who cares? It's like, it doesn't matter. He has like all range if you don't move him, I guess. He applies paralysis on his charge, which is good. Not arousal though, which is bad. I know he applies arousal paralysis, but the thing is he applies arousal only to the NPC directly hits.
寂し
Even
か
though
ったね
arousal weakening is on everyone, he can only really apply it on this dude as well as the one to the left, but units like Unicorn he won't be able to apply arousal on. And paralysis, he can only inflict on enemies on charge or when he's hit, so he's not going to be taking advantage of that normally when he's not charging. But you know, it doesn't seem like he will charge up very quickly.
それじゃあ行くよ
面白いやつ
敵将が首はここにありさあ契約は守ってもらおうか
Unless you're saying he applies arousal on charge. Does he? Maybe I skimmed through it. Oh yeah, he does. Okay, I missed it. I'm dumb. In CS he applies them. I see. I mean, yeah, I missed it because I'm dumb, but also I didn't have time to prepare. Give me a break. Yeah, he's struggling his charge. That's just being Perun. The problem is he doesn't really get his charge that fast. Come on. There you go.
おかえり
ライライライ面白
寂しかったね
親分ライ
寂しかった
面白いやつ
寂
面白
寂しかったね
ライライめでてやろう
His damage without charge is pretty low with no external buff, so yeah, I figured. I mean, he didn't get a charge. It's like everyone else getting a charge, but well, on Gene's event, it's just like two enemies doing the same item.
逆使命
But still, like,
つまりは従属の首輪や
if you're gonna go for damage that you're building up a charge for, is it really worth it for Perun?
くなんねんで
I wouldn't know because they didn't do the damage calcs.
What? 寂しかったね
面白
寂しかったね
親分一つでライ
You're actually so obsessed with the free quests, to be honest. You're like correct with 500. You found the light of this game. People usually stick with dailies in the game, but like, you know, once you get enough coin, I mean, some people argue you never get enough coin, but honestly, you get a good amount of free quests in this game, gets coin as well. It's, like, at its best, it's about half as efficient as coin doubles, and you get so much other resources too, including rank XP, which is it's the best source of rank XP straight up in this game when it's half stamina. So it's like, of course, free quests is superior for a lot of people in the end game. Not everyone like this though, Herbie, but yeah. Yeah, even with Walter, Perun was only doing 4-digit damage on his hits with his normal attack ring. I guess he doesn't have any damage ramp really besides attack up and what's called and what's called attack up and arousal strengthening or arousal weakness. Arousal weakness, arousal weakness. And you know, it doesn't help that he is snipe type, so he suffers a massive penalty as well.
面白いやつおいライラ
それじゃあ行くよ
青に
面白いやつ
どうかそうして笑ってておくれよ
Just based off glowing, Igonok, Dagon, and Sasagwa are the only 3-star old ones that look normal. Well, yeah, Dagon didn't really have a proper description in his original lore. I believe you never actually, in any of the stories, see Dagon, or he's never directly described. In the original story of Dagon, he's just like talked about like there's a church or some sort of, you know, group or cult that worships Dagon, and maybe you see one of their worshippers, but it's not unclear if that's actually Dagon. It's kind of more so implied that it's just a follower of it. So you never actually see Dagon, per se, in any of the stories. As with Sasagwa, I don't know, like, there's a description of him, he's pretty similar to what he's described as. But I you know, would you call him normal in terms of what's species belongs to a few ton kitchen is that's what he is some slot features multiplies. If you're having a regular food, you know, then I mean you're gonna make these the crafting beasts be wearing normal clothing so that you can simp over them in the street fashion, I guess. You're on rank 42 actually, thanks to some AR card boosts and stamina discount. Yeah, that's definitely, for beginning players, the best source to rank up quickly is to farm the free quests with the rank boosters. Rare Perun getting a short moment.
芝居がかりすぎでしたかね、親分。面白いやつ。
寂しかった。
親分、
おやすみ。寂しかった。
面白いやつ。
Maybe column clearing for the next month. Move head blocks.
面白いやつ。
寂しかった。おやすみ。
面白いやつ。
Thank God for Zevo. I mean, he was strong before, but like, that's not cheap, so he deserves strength. Still not his rival, but he has so much damage.
面白いやつ。
敵将が首はここにあり。
Alright, we are
さあ、契約
done
は
all
守っ
the
ても
top
らおう
quests.
か。
As you can see, it's straightforward. Even if you don't have any of the booster units, all you really need is just like the side boosters, which, I mean, if you don't have them, then I don't know what to tell you. There's a bunch of like summer units that are featured too, even if they don't boost the third resource. Let's go ahead and look at the missions actually. So it seems like you get easy 1 million just for playing normally. All of the missions, well, not all of them apparently, a good amount of them require you to use stamina. So you just need to play every day. And then you'll be able to get decent rewards with all this stuff. And it seems that there's going to be most likely some sort of challenge quest released later that will reward you just for clearing it, because it's obviously we don't have a quest that's called question mark right now. And it seems we need to be farming each of these last level quests 20 times for 1 million coins. So just play the game. Like, play the game and you get everything here for free. This is the only one that is like, might be different, but just 5 drinks in the end. I mean, it's a good amount, but like, yeah. Wait, please. Yeah, they're done. What else is there? Oh yeah, we need to review the shop. I believe that's the last thing I can say. Let's see, where's the shop at? Event shop, please.
下僕め、ようやく顔を見せたか。
Yojo music. Okay, so we got the standard amount of boss. I don't know, I think it's low. Oh, we do get skill seeds and that was It's nice.
許してやるがゆえ。
Hold on, can we get Eagle Knock or Sarutahiko?
Yo!
Yo!
おい、
Hey,
お
there he
か。この交換所にお前の欲望を満たす。
Come on, boosts, and...
イケてるおっちゃんがおるやんか。そやけど
Heroes. So the question is, oh yeah, we totally got it. 100 per game event. That's interesting. Yeah, it might be worth farming for sure then if this is only the max amount you got. Even considering this, which will only net you like an additional 50, it means you only get 150 per event, which means you still can't do even a single guild switch per event or guild dispatch. You'd still need to at least have 50 extra from there to get 200 total, which means you could probably farm the last 50. And if you feel that's a good compromise, 1 guild dispatch per event, then that seems to be the way to go. Get all membership seals, exchange your guild contract, and then get the last 50 from farming. But otherwise, you're going to be waiting like 2 events per switch, which is going to be annoying. Guild Alliance tickets are done as usual, and... oh yeah, we got our things here. Give me these coins. This music's very nice, actually. I like it. What do guild memberships do? Ooh, that's a complicated question. It's the newest feature. I mean, it's not complicated, but it's like... I mean, the event's already over. Might as well talk about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and exchange these guild membership seals right away so I can do a demonstration. I'll also exchange some of these certificates. Can't get all of them. Or let me just check. Gimme. So this is no longer going to be talking about the stream, but we are going to be briefly talking about the seals a bit more now. For those that feel like they could use an explanation, because it's a new feature and I didn't get to talk about them since it wasn't released immediately when Chapter 15 released. So, this is the end of the section when it comes to the event talk. We are now just going to be talking about guilds a bit more. Yes, let's talk about our favorite animal, seals, as well as certificates. So, as all of you should probably know by now, but if not, everyone in the game now has a guild or is marked as unaffiliated. So, for example, Shino's an Outlaws, all these two are actually in Outlaws, and what's it called? Eagle Knock is, what, I don't even know, he's part of Outlaws, apparently. No wonder they're so strong. But yeah. So, this used to have no significance before at all, and now, or last year's patch, they actually added a gameplay effect with guild affiliations. So, there's a bunch of guilds in this game, and you can invest in them now. Before, you could only invest in characters, such as leveling them up, skilling them up, seeding them. But now you can also invest in the guild they belong in, which will benefit everyone within that guild. So now, there's the 3 tree guilds, as well as the OG guilds, and everyone enjoys the same 4 buffs. Yes, Eagle Knock is part of the Outlaws. So, you need to invest in each of these individual perks. There's the attack, a defense perk, as well as a stat perk, which is essentially, they're kind of the same thing, which is effectively the thing you want to know most, is they both increase damage linearly. However, this perk is, you just need to invest one because it's a bit special. Although the first perk is not as strong, they both increase linearly in identical ways. But this one, if you invest in one, it's worth it just because it will give you the perk of bring more members of that particular guild within a team, and then the damage will scale linearly even further. But yeah, both are good to invest in mainly for general purpose farming like this, as you can see. Staple, go 1/1 for each. Just keep in mind that some people might interact differently with this, like an inflated HP pool, like a Fushi, for example. For the other two is CP increase on arrival, as well as skill rate boost, and these are a bit more situational, but they're still good to have in the long term. So the first and fourth perks are the best. They're all the same across. Keep in mind they increase linearly in cost, and what they use is actually going to be, they use the Guild Alliance certificate, so this is why you get them. And as you can see, they increase linearly with cost. It's 100, and then it's 200, which is 300 total, and then it's another, then it'll cost 300 after, and it'll cost 400. So actually maxing one of these is not going to be something you're going to be able to do even within a year. Maybe one of the perks within a year, but for all of them, it's going to take 2-3 years. And at that point, you're sacrificing all the investment you can do with the other guilds. So there's a strong incentive to spread, decent incentive to not just spread everything out, but instead to willingly or sparingly use them for when you do need them for any appropriate guild that you're farming with. The guild membership gives you a guild buff. Guild membership gives you a guild buff if you have invested in that guild for the particular buffs. So the other two perks, by the way, is a charge fill, which essentially it's a one-time thing where they start battle with a certain amount of CP. So they can be an instant board wiper if you want everyone to be Christina, but you'll have to invest quite a lot in it. Some units already start off with a certain amount of CP, like 50 or 60, so in those cases it might be worth to partially invest in it. And then there is the skill rate boost, which is probably the most situational of all, because it only lasts for X amount of turns, X being the amount invested into it, and it then increases your skill rates by that exact amount as well. So for example, it'll be for 1% for 1 turn, or 2% for 2 turns. It's situational, but it's also, quite strong in terms of general farming, if you manage to max it, for sure. And if you're not so hung up on having 100% and you're okay with going 99.5 reliability for farming, then it's still a good investment too. I've actually invested in it for the Rulemakers for Oz, for example, to get his all range more reliably up independently of other guild buffs, or team buffs rather. things that invest in CP, that'd be like agents, for example, where Utara starts with 60 CP. But most of the time, it's just investment in these things here, the first and fourth buff. Okay, so why do I have a bunch of these guilds that are unlocked, but have nothing invested? Because it does actually cost a tiny bit to unlock them as well. Well, it's not a complete waste, because the reason I've done this is for the other thing you can now do, which is to switch members, which requires the other resource. So if we're looking at the, for example, Tetsuox here, I have not. He is currently in Outlaws. Everyone starts with some native guild or is just marked as not affiliated. However, if you select affiliation settings, then you can move them into a guild and they will enjoy the same perks as everyone else within that guild that you've invested in. So if you select this guild, as you can see, it will cost a fixed amount of 200 guild membership seals. So we're not doing that for Tetsuox, but it is very powerful for various reasons. Guruphobia real. I mean, okay, the reasons why I unlocked this is specifically for the booster ARs here, right? So for those that have been playing, booster ARs oftentimes have powerful effects, and also they're just optimal for farming as well. Gurus do not have any boosters associated with them, so I don't know to tell you. Crafters do have one, but it's fucking CP up, like who cares? And Extras are brand new, so they have nothing. A lot of these other ones have pretty good ARs to hook up. And the perks about them, about switching, for example, is actually you can also modify the ARs you can put on support as well, as long as you switch them. I've moved Mikhail here into Genociders, and as a result, he can now bring in support the Blossom Booster, so he can hyper carry with that. Anvari's optimal farmers generally though, but you don't really need to move him to any other guild just because he already, he already boosts a bunch of other things. Also, I need to switch these things. Well, it's fine. Also, Dead is normally unaffiliated with any guild, but I moved them to Beast Steamers, so now everyone can get that double card EXP bonus from both the AR as well as Dead himself, as the only mentor of a 5-star. So, very strong for support effects. It's also strong for... Right now, if you I didn't make it clear, I'm going through the advantages over the strength of seals, because some people seem to not believe in the strength of seals. Well, you know, myself included, it took a while to convince me, but there's a lot of perks. Besides that, for example, you can decide to move certain members to increase the guild effect. For example, I'm working on Shiva right now. He is in Outlaws, but he's not strong enough to one-shot Ramu. And I want to do that through a few ways. I'm going to be moving more members into the same guild as him within the Warmongers, so that, you know, Qinglang will be able to increase that, what's called fourth bonus, which increases linearly the damage depending on how many members are within that team, as well as maybe what's his face too? Sandayu, I don't know, I'm not decided about the other unit. But essentially, I'll be taking advantage of that boost to add on to that bonus. And also, for Qinglang, if he switches to Warmongers, he'll be able to hook up the Warmongers AR. Right now he can't because I haven't switched him. Maybe we'll demonstrate something like that soon. So we have the Warmongers AR, which gives attack up to all allies, including himself on arrival. Very strong because Qinglang already gives a bunch of damage amp to the entire board immediately. If we're starting with the affiliations, should we need to unlock them if we have units that belong to those guilds? Since you now have limited Perun and Barong, should you unlock their guilds? So the main deciding factor of what you should invest in is going to be present need. Like, if you're able to clear with the units that you have right now, with all of them in Gurus, without any buffs, then you don't need to invest in them. But if you just happen to be bringing them because they all happen to be boosters and they're not clearing, then yeah, sure, why not invest in them? Right, let's go ahead and do a demonstration for how seals work. So I believe the one I wanted to switch next was either going to be Walter, or, you know, Bakantanka, Infinite, or Megan, or whatever you want to call him, and or Qinglang. So between the two, I think I will switch out Qinglang, maybe Walter? I don't know. I don't even know. Let's switch out let's switch out Walter, I guess. So the reason why we want to switch out Walter is going to be a very powerful reason. If we switch him to summoners, then he'll have another buff he can spread. Because if we switch him to summoners, then hold on. Just need to double check. I don't want to make a mistake here. Okay, so Walter has now moved to summoners. Very cool, right? So what is the significance of this? Well, this means now that I can directly equip here the limit AR, which is that doesn't have a good boost tokens, but the actual gameplay effect is quite strong because it gives limit. But yeah,
お前もな、当時。
we'll go ahead and save this
栄
because
光の手によるこの鋼の体を押し返すとは。
now Walter can
まだまだ
actually
行くぞ。
what's it called? Let's go to the Tower of Babel and demonstrate it. Where's Walter on the board? What can we do now? You'll pick some random large map. We'll pick the invaders, and we will be bringing Smoky God. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's the Smokies at? There he is. And now we have Walter here. We can now equip the limit AR in him. And the significance of this is that if we go to battle,
やるな、グリーンブルスティ。これは良い稽古になろう。ああ、お前もな、当時。その人に。愛し
I'm not sure if you guys recognize damage buffs just by looking at it. But okay, I'm glad it works properly. Walter here is able to actually bestow 2 different buffs on his natively instantly to the entire board that are damage, and that's going to be brawn as well as attack up. However, with the summoner's AR, he can now also self-bestow limit, and which then he can spread to all of the allies. So now everyone also has limit, and because of that, everyone's going to do like 2 times even more damage on top of the 4 times he already applies. So that's going to be like nearly 10 times damage. And then you get 2 times like this. I mean, they would have killed anyways because they're already this strong, but like it's kind of funny how strong this setup is. It's even more ridiculous, and what's important is that it's also exploitable in sport, so now you can bring my Walter and what was that thing? You get the idea. Fucking what's his face? Also Slav. But yeah, you get the idea. You're going to get a massive amount of damage amp even further now. Same thing with Xinglong if you switch it over. And yep. Seals are very important, but you need to know how to use them properly to make the best use of them. The most relevant uses for them besides that actually is for farming is going to be if you switch the mentors out of the way, because you know people don't like doing mentor runs. People like easy runs, and people just want to bring their favorites and all that. But if you're doing mentor runs, then you can move dead into beast tamers or missionaries to equip one of the party XP ARs, and then you can also move like another unit into the same one, such as Kriznik, who I also moved to beast tamers, so that they can take advantage of the beast tamers boosting effect altogether, which will make everyone in this team stronger, well except for Barong, but it's fine. But yeah, very potent for farming here. For one of the more like popular cases, actually to boost the Triton, who is going to be like this dude over here, because he is infamously weak and does like next to nothing in battle, but he has good range. So because he has good range, if you just stack a bunch of damage amp from guild effects on him, he can start one-shotting units eventually, and that's like has nothing to do with this kit. That just has to do everything with the guild and his range being hyper carrying that. So he has the best range out of all mentors, despite him having the, you know, one of the worst utilities. I mean, it's defensive, but it's not reliable. There's obviously a good amount of worse mentors, but like Triton is definitely not my favorite. Anyways, let's search that up because I do not want to hear Triton. No, bring it back to Jinbei's voice act. But yeah, that was just the bonus section. Sorry to annoy you if you guys were only interested in the what's it called section, the event section. Also, holding to your 3 and 5 star exchange tickets because you want to wait for a Summer Shiva, but if you don't get them, then you'll get rid of a 5 star. We'll talk about that in the thing. Alright, we'll move to my guild and we can talk briefly about that. Oh no, my members are all gone. Please move back. And let's put on some music. So, that is it for today's stream. Thank you for joining me, everyone. It was interesting enough to read the kits. They're kind of exceptionally not great, but at least the art is looking good, and at least one of the songs are looking good. The theme is pretty decent too. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of most of the units in this natively, but like their art seems pretty nice, and so I can't completely hate it. And I got Eagle and Nook, so I was gonna say I can't go away in this event. But yeah, I'm gonna go read up the chat and talk about whatever you guys want me to do. So you're holding onto your 3 star or your 3 and 5 star ticket exchanges because you want to wait for Summer Shiva. Well, okay. First off, well, if you don't get them, then you'll get regular 5 star, but who would payroll them? First off, you cannot get Summer Shiva with the selector ticket that you start off with. Those are only for permanent units. Summer Shiva is a limited unit. If you want to get a Summer Shiva, you'll have to wait until Anniversary when they distribute, or rather when they sell the limited pick tickets, because you are given a permanent pick ticket, and you know the best option for that I would say is Dad, just because he's a 5 star mentor that actually boosts things. But it really is up to you if you don't care about resource boosting, because the others are just like, you know, they don't boost, but they have their own strengths and weaknesses. So, good ticket combinations, I would say just invest in mentors and or boosters. I mean, like, you could get like 3 star in Bari, but like, that's kind of like huge copium since it's better to just get like 5 star in Bari, or which is limited by the way. You're just gonna have to wait for Anniversary when the limited pick selection arrives, and maybe Anbari will come by then, but we'll see. Let's see. That seems cool. Only one that comes to mind right now is switching Christmas Berto to a guild that uses Blessing AR so he doesn't need his charge or outside help. Yeah, that's a popular choice too for sure. Does a good amount of things. Ruffles your face by I thought there was something on my face. But, it's just you. But yeah, that's it for this thing. First look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in a discussion. I'll be hoping to schedule for this weekend, but it'll depend on the availability of everyone else. If not, then maybe another weekend. I mean, it's you kind of saw a decently in-depth preview already of them. I don't have the highest opinions, first impression-wise, for these kits, but maybe you can change your minds by the time the discussion comes. Who knows? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this event. Good luck with your pulls for anyone pulling for, especially for the 5 stars, but also anyone for the 4 stars. And yeah, play optimally, have fun, and you know, have a good time. That's all for now, cuties. Catch you next time.